Hello and welcome to the Cablevision YouTube channel. Today we are going to be doing an extremely difficult mission in KSP2, probably one of the hardest missions that you can do currently. It's not an Eve return mission, and it's not a dual 5 mission. Those are probably way in the future before that actually be possible to do. But this mission we are going to be going to Eeloo, or we're going to be taking a rover to Eeloo. We're not going to be coming back, it's just going to be a rover there, so that's the mission for this. I actually was originally going to be taking this to the Joule system. I'll probably make a video on that sometime, taking this to one of the Joule moons. But today, I was talking with Marvin Huber on Discord, and we decided that we'd actually do a Eeloo mission. So I decided I'd use this rover here as, well, since it had enough fuel to get to Eeloo, I thought I'd use it. So that's what we're doing this mission, and this rover is kind of actually like some of the past ones I made, and it's kind of hard to make new designs at this point. I haven't really got any inspiration, but I thought I'd put the little observatory on the top and then have some cool blue lights just for the sci-fi aesthetic. And yeah, so just adding the little lights all over the place just to make them look cool. Unfortunately, I did actually put the light and the ladder on the wrong door. It's like that part there is a ladder, on the other side is the door, so I didn't realize that. Anyway, here we are strutting things down here on the wheel module, just because it looks a little bit more realistic. They're not really supposed to be just floating there, so that's what I'm doing there. And we're just strutting everything down, because you can never have too many struts in KSP2. Never have too many struts when we actually can. If you have too many struts, the game seems to bug out, and it gets confused. Anyway, here we are at the launch. And here we are launching. And you'd be surprised, this actually took me a few tries getting it launched, but I guess that's starting to become the norm in KSP2. So, anyway, you also may notice that my cloud quality is actually at maximum. I actually figured out how to get it at maximum. I got shadow quality at maximum, I've got scatter density at maximum, and cloud quality at maximum, along with water. So, I managed to get all of them up, which I'm really happy about, because the clouds in KSP2, when they're on maximum, they don't quite look as bad as they usually do. When they're on medium, they look like mashed potato. I know it's become a bit of a meme, but you can see that they actually look kind of good. And in the video advertising KSP2, I think it was an ad, or maybe it was the main trailer, they had some really awesome looking volumetric clouds, so hopefully we get them. Actually, it kind of looked like Blackrex volumetric clouds, but in KSP2, so hopefully they look as good as what they advertise. So I guess there's not too much more to say about launching. Oh yeah, and also in the build you may notice the 4 fuel tanks that are attached on the radially around the main fuel tank. That originally had vectors on it, but the vectors I think is what made my rocket previously break apart, because they had too much vectoring control, and which caused issues, so I used the Mammoth engine. And there we are, getting rid of the payload, fairing, that's right. And we are just getting ready to boost ourselves into a circular orbit around Kerbin when we have finished time warping up to that. And here we are burning. I've discovered that all I need to do is just set a timer on my phone, and I can turn off the UI and not have to worry about overshooting the burn or undershooting it, so I can have a bit more of a cinematic look. So most of this is going to be without the UI, but there'll be little snippets with the UI, like right now. Anyway, here we are getting ourselves a burn out to Eeloo, and here we are decoupling right now and activating the 5 nuclear engines, 5 big nuclear engines. I can't remember what they're called. Maybe, I think they're the Nerf engines, are they? I can't remember the name of them actually. Anyway, making the burn on the dark side of Kerbin, and I actually did this before one other time, like this mission. This is the second time because I had to quick load, and that's because when I was burning, for some reason I got shot away from Kerbin, like my rocket got sent into another orbit around Kerbin, it didn't really make much of a difference, but I thought you could argue that it did some work on the Delta V. So I went back and did a quick load, as I am a good YouTuber, and here we are arriving at Eeloo. So this was kind of quick. I'm not sure, I probably should make them a little bit longer how we get there, but here we are arriving at Eeloo and getting ready to start the circulation burn around Eeloo. So once that finally gets here, and I also turn on the brakes there just because it stops the wheels from just spinning and spinning and spinning, because sometimes I found that sometimes they'll spin up so badly that when you touch the ground, it basically sends you interstellar. So I usually like putting the brakes on the wheels. Anyway, here we are, slowing down, and also why I said about my using my phone clock. You might argue I could just use Time Warp or anything else like that, but the Time Warp seems to do funny stuff with the rocket, so I just like keeping it off Time Warp, but I guess I can't really do Time Warp if I'm the UI off, so I don't know why I said that, but anyway. Yeah, so now a good time to mention would be, if you're finding this video good and interesting and good quality, a subscription and a like would be astronomical. So if you could do that, that'd be just astronomical, great. And back to the video. Here we are, just making some little changes to get ourselves kind of near one of those like cracks on Eeloo. You might call them cracks. But actually, Eeloo, talking about Eeloo, I reckon Eeloo is probably one of the best looking planets in the Kerbal system currently. Like, seriously, I love the reflectiveness and just the texturing and the modeling. It's actually one of my favorite planets, and even in some of the promo videos for KSP2, or shouldn't we say promo, like trailer videos for KSP2, I always loved how Eeloo looked. It really is actually one of my favorite looking planets in KSP2, and I'm actually surprised that this mission wasn't harder going to Eeloo, but it was actually quite easy, so I'm quite happy about that, because I don't like doing extra hard missions that are like overly hard. And here we are, just about ready to decouple the nuclear stage to get to our vector stage beneath. Seeing how much fuel's left in that, I probably would have been able, I could probably actually do a like to Eeloo and return to Kerbin video. That might be for future some point, but for some reason my landing gear there wouldn't extend. I have no idea why, and I do have to come clean again. I am still using mods in KSP2, no parts mods, and I'm not using any cheats currently. Actually, no, I did use a few cheats in the future, but you'll see, because it's actually quite justifiable because of bugs. So I'll tell you what about them in a minute. And just getting the vector engine slowly started up so we can land quite easily down on the surface. And yeah, Eeloo hasn't really got much surface detail on it, and I'm just speeding up the part here because I'm on my way. I was going to head over towards one of those cracks. I can't believe how far away I was, but I was using some cheats here, using one of the cheats mods. That basically means unbreakable parts and joints. That's mainly because the rocket, the rover, when you're riding it and it kind of tips over kind of sideways-ish, I found that the wheels would get stuck in the ground and they'd spin the rover all around the place, and it was absolutely terrible, like you just saw it then. And I decided, well, absolutely had enough of that, so I turned that off. I turned that joint thing on so I wasn't breaking anything, I wasn't having to quick loading all the time. Unfortunately, we didn't get to explore the canyons because, well, as you can see, my rover was dancing all over the place. But anyway, I guess we're kind of getting to the end of this mission, planting our flag, most important part of the mission. But yeah, that kind of concludes our Kerbal Space Program mission for the week. Just actually get all the Kerbals out here just as a cool little thumbnail, and close the cheats menu quickly. And yeah, so I know we haven't quite finished up yet, but thank you for watching. Really appreciate you for clicking on the video and sticking around. And yeah, so the thumbnail should look something like this when we get all the Kerbals out. Let's have a little roll call kind of thing. We've got I think it was Timsy Kerman, no, Bill Kerman, Valentino Kerman, and I can't remember what the other one's name was. But anyway, at least two iconics of the game. So, yeah, I guess I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but game saved, and you can see how reflective the surface is from there. If you had the all the terrain settings all set at a maximum, it would look really good. But even currently, you can see the reflectiveness of everything. I think it looks really cool. So anyway, the thumbnail should look something like that. Anyway, the rover did a little jump there after turning off time warp, but I guess that kind of concludes this mission. So, like I said before, I keep on thinking the video's about to end, but I look back at the timeline and I've got ages to go. So I'll probably keep on mumbling about short little things. So I've also got the little parts menu thing installed, because when you open the normal parts manager in KSP2, it's almost as if it's like a different application opening. Like, it's not a part of KSP2, it's like a separate application that opens that's apart from KSP2, just because of the amount of work it takes to like run it. It's just really strange, but this other parts menu mod works so much better, so I'm using that for now. Anyway, here we are returning our Kerbal to the rover, and that concludes this mission. There's a link to Marvin Huber's channel, go subscribe to him. There's a link to my channel, go subscribe to that if you haven't already. 2 videos which you might be interested, one of Marvin's video, one of my video that YouTube will recommend to you. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!